there's a quote that I loved. I almost want to like frame it and put it up at YC. You said, "I've never seen ordinary effort lead to extraordinary results." I just love that. That spoke to me. But you do a lot of writing. Do you write to help you figure things out?
Yeah, totally. I mean, I think as a leader, one of the things that I've struggled with or worked on as a leader is like, what's the best way for me to lead this organization? Like we have almost 1,000 people now. It's like a lot of people, and I found that writing was one of the best ways for me to do that, to actually sort of get my thoughts down on paper and then help explain that to the whole team. And so writing, it started out as I think really a leadership tool, as a way for me to help give context to the entire company. And then I started doing it more with investors. And then my investor said, "Wow, this is great. You should." It was actually a combination of investors, and there was someone who joined the company who was like, "You should publish these so that we can help everybody understand what our culture is and what we stand for." And so I started publishing them out on the broader internet.
This is a good segue, Alex. MEI. I got to ask about this because I'm so fascinated. Do you remember this, Carolynn?
I do. Yeah.
Yeah. So for listeners, you posted about MEI, which stands for Merit, Excellence, and Intelligence. I'm going to do a little quote. There's a mistaken belief that meritocracy somehow conflicts with diversity. I strongly disagree. No group has a monopoly on excellence. And I loved that. But this was a bold move, Alex. Like, tell us about why you did that and what was the response?
Yeah, so there were a few things happening at the time. I think the first one was really, we were focusing on growing the company a lot, and both bringing in new talent as well as continuing to reward our existing talent. And I started to notice, for a company that I think we in general try to stay very apolitical. Even then, there were still small things that indicated that maybe the policies weren't very clear for how we think about diversity, how we think about the kinds of people we hire, how we think about making these decisions on the margins. And in that lack of clarity, I think a lot of people in the company, kind of felt frustrated. And there were oftentimes conversations when I would talk to people who are sort of hiring managers or recruiters or whatnot, where there would be some frustration around not really knowing what the company was focused on. To me, this felt kind of crazy because I think, just like any company, we just need to be focused on hiring the best possible people. And so MEI really was my take on and our take on diversity without the wokeness. So how do we, we care about having a diverse workforce, but we also don't want to confuse that with, we always want to hire the best person for every possible job, and we want to hire excellent people, and we want to make sure we're focused on hiring excellent people. If we do that, then diversity will come in tow, because it turns out like there's all sorts of people who are just incredible at things. YC, I think, is a testament to this. The group of YC founders is incredibly diverse. And we thought that if we just focus on meritocracy, really, hiring the best possible people who are brilliant, excellent, intelligent, diversity will fall out as an outcome of that. And so that was kind of the reframe, which is, instead of being an organization that is focused on diversity as the top level goal, being focused on meritocracy as the top level goal, and then understanding that if you do that correctly, then diversity will come as a sort of result of that. That was the basic idea. I think that the reason that we published it and the reason that we wanted to be focused on it was that we also thought that there were a lot of people in the tech world who wanted to join companies with a clear stance on this issue. I think that as whether it was engineers or product people or whomever in the tech ecosystem, I think that in a lot of these issues, clarity actually is a huge benefit to building the right team. And we found this in practice. After we put it out there, sure, there were a lot of people on the internet in general who said, this is crazy, this is awful, this is bad. But there were a lot of very incredible people who said, this is the kind of company I want to join. This demonstrates that this company has the culture that would appreciate me, that I think that I would appreciate. And this is actually a huge attractor for me to join Scale. And so that was really the goal. It ended up becoming, I mean, frankly, it like got really, quite viral, as some people call it. Like it really spread around. And I think in certain places it got over politicized, or sort of it got misconstrued in various forums on both.
Perhaps in Twitter or in the press?
Yeah. If I knew then what I know now, like I would have been able to, we probably would have, we would have thought about it a bit differently, but it did get sort of picked up and misconstrued in a variety of somewhat crazy ways. But the core idea, I think, is incredibly sound, which is, and we still live by it, which is we want to focus on hiring the best possible talent. And that's our North Star. Our North Star is meritocracy, excellence, intelligence. And if we do that right, we have a lot of great things that come out of it.
Well, I remember you were just coming into town in 2014, Alex, but I remember specifically, and Carolynn, you probably do too, when GitHub removed their rug that was like the Oval Office rug that said like the United Meritocracy of GitHub. Do you remember?
I don't remember that.
Oh my gosh.
No,
it was a
I
really
don't.
big deal because you were no longer allowed to refer to startups, as a meritocracy. And I remember thinking, gosh, I'm a woman in this business, and yeah, I've faced some hardships as a result of that. But overall, it's very like startups are meritocracy. Your users are going to pay you whatever. They don't care who the founder is. They're going to pay you for a product that's good. And if you make something people want, it should do well. So I definitely remember that time. So I was really pleased, Alex, to see your MEI post. And I thought it seems sensible to me.